is Jennifer Love Williams. She, her, hers. Um, I am obviously I'm a Black trans woman. I'm a formerly incarcerated Black trans woman. I'm from South Carolina and I currently reside well, pretty much all my life in Jersey City, New Jersey. I work for, I am the co-chair of the FIP subgroup, which stands for Formerly Incarcerated People, which is part of the National LGBT and HIV Criminal Justice Working Group. I also do some work with the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls, as well as I am the foundress of the Gen Love Project. The Gen Love Project provides welcome home kits to LGBTQ plus people coming home from prisons and jails. Currently, I only service New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts with plans of real soon expanding to other locations because my siblings coming home are in great need.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. So Jennifer, right off the bat, it sounds like you do the most out of the goodness of your heart for the community. You are a true angel. You've taken your life and you've turned it around. You've taken something, maybe traumatizing experience that we can all take and just maybe internalize, but you are putting it out there. And you're showing people that, hey, look, no matter, regardless of my circumstances or my past, I am pushing forward and I am helping my community and I'm doing something great with my life, right? So Jennifer, so tell us a little bit more about the Jennifer Love Project.
Okay, not Jennifer Love, Gen Love.
The Gen Love, okay, Gen Love Project.
Okay, well, I'm obsessed with love. Mm-hmm. I love everything about love. So, of course, when I paid to have my name changed, Love was going to be in there, but my show name prior, for damn near 20 years prior to me legally changing it was Jennifer Love. And of course, my birth last name was Williams. So whatever I'm going to do, I'm always going to keep my name there, but let me switch it up a little bit and just Gen Love and Project. Coming home from after doing the 6 with the 85, I don't think I ever realized just how privileged I was. And for me, I had my family.
Yeah.
And I had my mom, and then I had my family and my core. And everybody met up with her to always make sure that I had everything that I needed throughout the incarceration, even when I was being treated less than and dehumanized. Mm-hmm. Everybody said something was wrong. But nevertheless, the project started because when I came home, I had an abundance. I never had to want for nothing. Everything that they possibly thought that I could need or I may need, I may just want to even just touch, they made sure that I had it.
Beautiful.
And I started realizing there were a couple of people who I met throughout my bed who, my incarceration rather, who were coming home after me. And we'll cross paths, obviously at parole, which was embarrassing in enough. But I'm like, well, here's my address or here's my card. Stop by the house. I'm gonna give you some things because I had way more than I needed. Especially when it came to guy things, I didn't need none of that shit. I mean, no offense. So I'm sitting here and I'm doing that. Mm-hmm. And then I started realizing more that I'm like, so where's your girlfriends? Where's your baby mother at? Where's your mother? Where's your father? And I'm realizing everybody doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And then, so it just being mainly Black people who I was mainly servicing or anybody that I met, even if you were a couple of the girls and boys from New York who my ex who named me was incarcerated in New York. And he used to be having people on the phone calling me and for help. And I'm not the gay and trans whisperer, you know that, right? But I got you. But I did what I can do. And then I started realizing that the more and more I'm realizing that when it comes to us here in Jersey, we don't talk about incarceration.
I honestly, it's not a topic, right, that people talk about, but obviously Black and brown people are obviously, you know, some of the highest rates of incarceration in this country. So I'm happy that we're touching on it. Let's talk about it. Salud, baby. Yes. Salud. So let's talk about it. So obviously, you know, so you're incarcerated. You see that, you know, you are blessed, and you see that there's a need, obviously, that everybody around you does not have the same, I guess, family that they can come to, go to, you know what I mean, that is supporting them. And so you identify that. That's beautiful. And so then what comes after you get out of incarceration and you start the project? Like, how does it go?
I had started helping a few people. This is like with the stuff that I had.
Yeah.
Like my doctor's office, making sure that I come to the doctor, giving you bus tickets and everything else. I want to make sure that I'm giving this and I'm taking this survey, that survey, getting this little McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, Target, movie gift cards. And I'm going to want to give them to everybody, making sure that everybody had. Because I didn't need it, but I wasn't going to tell them that. I'm going to take it and just repurpose this to someone else.
Of course.
But then I'm realizing that a couple of people, when it came to, it's a really a complicated situation being formerly incarcerated and coming home and trying to find housing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the obviously feminine gay men and few trans women and a couple of drag queens as well. The shelters don't want them near. We're not as laxed and comfortable within our own skin within Jersey, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ. Now we're getting there, but it seems like it's more geared towards a Caucasian demographic, and Caucasian and Hispanic demographic and children. But then within the Black community itself, we got to fight on our own with still accepting our children and our siblings right here still in 2020. But nevertheless, it's complicated coming home and trying to find housing. And like I said, nobody touches on the subject when it comes to New Jersey. I know I was a New Yorker and I came home from incarceration as a trans woman. I wouldn't have a problem finding housing. They would make sure I was in a
SRO.
SROs. They would make sure I was in one of those. But here in Jersey, it's not. They don't. You can't go into a female situation. They're not going to put you in the male one. The staff got some crazy excuse, or if you run in there just to be safe and be warm from a cold night, you're possibly going to die.
Yep.
Jennifer, going to be overlooked.
I'm so happy that you're touching on this because this is something that I don't think enough people talk about. So I'm somebody that born and raised in Jersey, but have lived in New York, provide services in New York. Let me tell you, people of the world, that it is so hard to get services the way that they provide them in New York, anywhere else in the United States. In Florida, people come from down south all the way to New York just to get the basic services that are provided, and even LA, you know what I mean? You gotta, there's so many people, right? And so like the system gets overwhelmed, but you know, it's a blessing in New York, but you cross that bridge. And let me tell you, I try to get people into ADAP for HIV services, you know, and it's such a hard process. It's like basic needs, you know, housing, all these things, just to sign up for basic services. So I'm so happy that you have identified that need and that you are providing services to people right here in your own local, you know, community.
No, I think that a lot of people didn't think that it was a need because they naturally count New Jersey as part of New York. We're a whole different state.
It's a whole different state,
whole different structure. And even within our state, we're still divided between North, Central, and South.
Yep.
Not divided, but we are, the structure of each part, all three parts are very different.
Yeah.
And so it started leaving me in a situation where I was confused at this point in time because I didn't know what to do, where to send anyone. I didn't know what was here. And the agencies that I was all here that I work with and stuff now, I didn't know they were here before. The only one I knew of was Hudson Pride.
Exactly. Yep.
But then again, this is a grown woman who wasn't so proud of who I was. I wanted to fly under the radar too. So it's a journey of self-discovery.
Yes.
As well as of my journey of self-discovery, making sure I provide for others so they can avoid what I've been through.
Yes.
And let me accept the fact that I got a lot of daggers thrown in my back and even stabbed right in my damn forehead. But still, at the end of the day, it's always a group that look like me
Yes.
that still was out. And it's not because they don't have the footwork or the handwork to get it done. Every measure that they try to measure, the tape is cut, the door slammed in their face.
Yep.
If it takes me to get in the door and bring acknowledgement to it and do my part for my sisters and brothers, then so be it. It was a struggle in the beginning because I didn't know it was kind of complicated to service Black people, brown people, and include LGBTQ in it.
Yep.
They don't want us there. We want to feel safe wherever we are.
Exactly. Think about it. I mean, we all know, like, Black Lives Matter, social justice issues, you've got like a totem pole, and even within our own LGBTQ community, there's another level, and it's so unjust, right? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, so we got the LGBTQ, and then it seems that some people within the LGBTQ also look down upon other groups, and it's very unfortunate because we should be together because we're stronger together. So I wanted to ask you, because you said, that you had to find that strength, that confidence within yourself. So what were some of the things that you actually started to do to find that strength?
Therapy.
Beautiful.
In recent years, I've done my best. I'm in the process of doing my best to make sure that the public knows that stop looking at this chocolatey melanated woman right here and think that I just see the world through some rose-colored glasses. I don't. I'm raised a certain way, and I knew expectations were on me. I never want no one to complain. So upon this process, I started unraveling. Mentally, I started unraveling. I already had traumas that were here, but I didn't know what traumas. I just knew that they were things I don't like to think about.
Yeah.
The thought of them makes me hurt.
Yeah. Where's your
thought about nobody else going through them, because these are things that's not talked about. No one's talked about. Well, at least I'm 44, so
Ooh.
I'm a 70s baby. So
24, baby, 24.
No one was talking about Chester. Chester is the molester. I knew only thing about a molester I knew was Freddy Krueger. I don't think that nobody sat us down and ever asked us this and whatever, touch us or be so consumed with your child's well-being that you look at your child and you can sense something is wrong with your child. Yeah, you're sensing something is wrong, but you're thinking I'm being bullied. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm being bullied, but I'm also being violated. And all in one day for a long period of time. And then in recent adulthood, dealing with some rapes and abuse, I'm searching for love to make everybody happy, and it's not working. And I'm realizing that there's so many people.
Yeah, that are in the same boat. In the same
boat. Because nobody talks about it. So who the hell would know? And I don't want to talk about it because in my mind, it's weak. I didn't like crying in front of people.
I got you. Yeah.
If I was crying right now, like a few years ago, if I was crying right now, and I seen you look at me, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, let me put it together because I don't want nobody to see me crying.
Yeah. No, there's like a sense of like embarrassment. Yeah.
Never see me cry.
No, I get it. Yep. Because from inception, from the moment that we're born and growing up, it's like, it's like this tough love, or you can't show weakness, especially if you're from the streets, especially if you grew up a certain way. It's like you got to be tough. If not, you're gonna be taken advantage of. You're gonna be bullied. So yeah, it's almost like it's unfortunate that sometimes you can't show that vulnerability.
That's off the side of Sears.
But it's true. But no, I mean, I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you speaking that truth, because I think a lot of times, right, people are afraid to show, like, yo, look, I'm having a difficult time, and I have a past just like you, And so again, going back to the whole community spotlight, it's about sharing that story. You have no idea, right? They say the power of storytelling has so much power. And if it's not for you sharing your story, because, you know, however you identify, it doesn't matter. Your story probably resonates with like tens of millions of people around the world. You know what I mean? And that's the true essence of what this project is about. So I appreciate you sharing.
I will say this. The woman that you guys see now, when I say that I was broken, I was dehumanized. I was just a vessel for whatever you wanted me to be. And when I say that, I was sentenced March 27th, 2009. I used to live on Garfield Avenue in Jersey City.
I'm
Garfield
familiar.
and Murder. Garfield and Murder, would be exact.
Mm-hmm.
A friend who I trusted. I've known him for 5 years. He was a little inebriated and he was in my apartment. I've been around you. I slept in the same rooms with you before. Never thought nothing of it. And I'm out on bail at this time for 2 armed robberies, and to wake up to feel the pressure of my chest caving in the bed and feel him thrust himself into me as he choked me.
Oh my gosh.
That left me feeling hollow. And since that night in January of 2009, I never slept another night in my apartment. I didn't want anything in here. I just want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And my family and stuff was blind to the fact that I just want to party all night long. I don't want to party all night long. Let me come stay with my mother for the night. I don't want to be there. I can't erase that out of my head.
Yeah.
And then when I get to the county, I'm forced to stay in PC because they say that I'm a risk with the breast and everything to put me in population.
What's PT for people who don't know?
Protective custody.
Okay.
So basically, and I'm like, but you can't put me somewhere that I'm not asking to be, so they make it IPC, which is involuntary protective custody.
Mm-hmm.
The state finally comes get me, the state of New Jersey, which on July 18th, 2009 is when I officially become state property. They take me, the state has me in their custody for a week at Craft, and then they put me at Southern State Correctional Facility. On August 8th, I go to sleep. I kept hearing this phrase, the punk. I didn't know you was talking about me because I fight. So I didn't think you was talking about me. I'm never gonna let nobody physically hurt me. Besides that one moment up until this night, I go to bed and I had an awkward feeling. And this feeling was sort of reminiscent of that night in January, but it was too late for me to be punched in the mouth and face pushed in a pillow and choked and fucking raped. It's 13 motherfuckers right here. Me and my attacker, you mean to tell me that y'all 11, everybody just sits there? I don't know how to process this. I remember in the afternoon, I'm still bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
From my back door. I have a bunch of moist tissue back there, and not moist from water. It's moist stuff in blood.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's dry, some of it's still moist. I asked to go to the mailbox, and I asked somebody for a stamp. And I went to the mailbox. I wrote a simple letter. It's addressed to my mother, and all I said was that I want to die. I can't do this. I come back to my bed. I'm laying on my stomach because it's hard to lay in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And for the third time in my life, I had this awkward feeling. This awkward feeling, this time it's not a rape. The same rapist and 4 others held me and beat me with combination locks.
Oh my gosh.
It took me 3 fucking months to heal. In New Jersey, DLC court line officer, put me in solitary confinement, which is ASAG, for a year and 95 days because I wouldn't tell who my attackers were. You knew when you put me over there on a gang unit full of bloods, it was gonna go 2 ways. They were either gonna try to fuck me or fuck me up. But you didn't care as long as you got the drug dealers out. I'm learning now that I'm just a pawn. Fuck me, fuck my body, fuck my life. I am nothing. I'm nothing to them. I'm nothing to you. There's nobody here to protect me. My mother doesn't know what's going on. She's in Florida, but a mother's intuition kicked in. She happened to call Southern State, and they told her that I wasn't there. She called again, and that's when they told the lawyer that I had my lawyer contact, and he found out that I am still there. I'm in the medical ward, and they said that I started a gang riot. She knew that was wrong.
Oh my gosh.
She got on the plane and moved back to New Jersey to stay here. I gave my mother power of attorney of me during my court proceedings leading up to my incarceration. When I tell you this woman camped out at DOC headquarters, even going into a seizure and ended up in a hospital from inside their lobby. That's what made them start paying the ticket. The DOC said she's determined she's not gonna leave, and she's coming with a lawyer and everything else.
That's right.
After that point, I don't really have no problems until a couple of strip searches where you're technically not supposed to physically touch my body. You're supposed to touch me when I have clothes on, a pat down, not when I'm naked. But ultimately, from then on, it was the fear of my mother and knowing that she had a few connections to make sure that I was safe.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I requested to come up north to continue the bid only because I knew that I would run across guys from my city and officers from up this way. And I felt a little safer, at least there. I knew I was never physically assaulted or anything else again. And that was a blessing just to make it out there alive.
Yeah.
But seeing them break me made me want to live a little longer. And like I said, I didn't really think about. I'm thinking like I'm some fucked up basket case in my head. And I never really wanted to talk about it until 2018. I met someone who was raped by an officer. And I immediately broke. And I think that moment of knowing that I'm not the only one, so there's nothing wrong with me. Yep. These are sick individuals who took me from me, and I allowed it. And it's not so much of me allowed it, it just happened and nothing I can do because I was in a vulnerable state. And I never want to be that way ever again, nor do I want anyone else to ever be there. People tend to sit here and think that, oh, because he's a gay guy, or he's like a kid in a candy store. Oh, if you're a trans woman in New Jersey, you're going to end up in a men's prison. Oh, you're like a kid in a candy store. Is that what the fuck you think? Did you ever even stop to think of the circumstances that led them into an incarcerated state? Did you ever understood why they end up being a sex worker? Why they ended up on drugs? You're treating them just as fucked up and as empty and as dehumanizing as the next person.
Yep. Exactly. People pass judgment too quickly. They don't stop to ask questions. They don't stop to even to get to know you. Jennifer. So taking a moment, because if anybody's just joining, thank you for sharing that story, because I can't even imagine, but I can only imagine that it's super difficult to talk about. Obviously, you know, you share your story with power, because you are beautiful and you are powerful, and that is what people need to see. So snaps to that. And the story of people in incarceration, and especially, like you said, trans women, Black trans women, I can only imagine, like, just what you had to go through, being amongst very macho type of men who, like you said, probably saw one of two things, you know, something they could use or something that they could abuse, or both, right? So thank you for sharing that story, because
Now,
girl.
don't get me wrong. There were some officers and fellow incarcerated people who were, some of them I didn't know, but when they found out what happened, because the prison grapevine is very swift,
Mhm.
um, always wanted to make sure that I was good. And
Yeah,
there was a great deal of officers. I never expected them to go against their brethren for me. But I try not to put nobody in that kind of situation. But sometimes those people were a savior.
yeah, thank
They gave
God.
me a little bit of sanity.
Yes.
And I know that there were times when I was being harassed and I couldn't get to a phone. Certain other fellow incarcerated people would ask me for a number to reach somebody so they can have their baby mother call this number and tell you can, when they get on the phone, tell them that there are people's J's in here and they're doing X, Y, Z to her. And the certain officers that with just a bit of encouragement, you know, they couldn't say X, Y, and Z, but a certain look will let my mother know from a visit, yeah, what your
Hmm.
daughter just told you, yeah, it's
It's the
happening.
truth. Yep. Thank
So
God.
she's not lying, but my mother already knew I wasn't lying because she didn't know what exactly was going on with me, but she can sense a change that
Yes.
was void.
Of course, a mother knows. Hello. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So Jennifer, we're gonna switch gears a little bit, if that's okay with you. Is that okay?
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right. So I wanted to, because I know that you have, you know, not only this part of your story, but I know that you are a beautiful entertainer, and I want you to tell us some more about the passion that you have for entertaining. What does it mean to you? Do you have a certain style? Tell us all about it.
Okay. I got my big break back in 1998,
All right.
and I think that's when it was official as far as her.
Okay.
Being being younger, yes, it was many dance competitions and talent shows that I won, and some of them I won with my aunt dancing with me
All right.
as a duo. This is like the 80s, so of course. And then I remember my parents fussing with school at St. Mary's because freshmen weren't allowed to be in Glee in drama club, and I had to be here.
This is in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. No.
St. Mary's. It's no longer St. Mary's High School. Is no longer up and going, but yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. But it was in New
Um,
Jersey.
yes, Jersey
Okay,
City.
gotcha. Okay, Jersey City.
It used to be on Second Street.
Gotcha.
And it just went like a good moment. And then fresh sophomore, senior year now, I'm trying to become a young adult and looking forward to get away from my parents.
Mhm.
When I got to college, baby, let me tell you something.
Okay.
I knew that we had attended Ravenport College in Mahwah, New Jersey, and we had the suckest basketball team, and
Mhm.
quite a few of them players was very good because they came from St. Anthony's,
Okay.
right? And they even had a sucky cheerleader team. Now I'm nobody's stepper and everything else. However, me and my bestie, we ended up working with the head cheerleader to create a dance team. And
Okay.
this is like the first time in years y'all actually have a packed um what did you call it? The
Like
basketball
a
court?
gymnasium.
There you go, the gym. It's
Uh-huh.
fully packed. People paying the money to get in here, everything else. They ain't coming to see nobody play, but to see us there. This 7-minute halftime show about to be the shit.
That's right. So that,
And at that time frame, love came into play.
okay.
And towards the ending of college is when she appeared. And since being little, I never wanted to be a woman because I was a kid. I wanted to be a girl. And I wanted to be a singer, dancer, overall entertainer.
Yes.
And a mother and a wife.
Hello. You can do it all. Like Beyonce. Hello.
And ultimately, I get to be the mother. I have some loves, and they
Yes.
are amazing.
Beautiful.
And I get to be the entertainer. I didn't picture pageantry into my life. That was my mom, the lifestyle Princess Janae. It was her ideal, and
May she rest
one of
in
my
peace.
dads,
Yes.
one of my dads, I'm about to get emotional. But it was their ideal. They was talking about me and call themselves taking me on a trip to Virginia. To sit me down for a crash course of some high profile black Southern pageants
Okay.
from Virginia and Atlanta. They had me like really watch a whole pageantry weekend. And
You fell in love.
I'm not gonna say that much. I wasn't the most, I'm naturally feminine,
Okay.
but I wasn't overtly glamorous femininity.
Gotcha.
I idolized Janet Jackson since I was 8. The Janet y'all see now for y'all millennials, oh, with a video where I got like 5 outfit changes and stuff like that. That's like the Janet I grew up in. Was one black outfit, dance your ass off the whole 5-minute video. That's what I grew up with. I just wanted to hucklebuck and sell sex that way.
Mhm.
And it took a love. I took a love and got dances and everything else. And the pageantry I did take a liking, take a liking and a love. It also played a part in development of me.
Yes. No, of course, because
That I cannot deny that pageantry did not take a development in me, because the talking aspect is not something that I was big on. As growing up, I had a huge stuttering problem.
Oh, wow. And I would never be able to tell. Yeah.
That's a combination of my parents making the teachers sit me in the front.
Beautiful.
They can sit in the front row, in the middle row of this way, and I'm where every other student allowed to read a paragraph. Now I had to stand up and face the classroom, and I got to read 2 paragraphs.
There you go. Hey, if you don't challenge yourself, you never know how far you can go.
That wasn't my challenge. That's my parents' challenge. And then when it came to pageantry, the presentation, in some cases, you have to say a little something. And sometimes you got these long soliloquies over here. But then it's question and answer was never a headbutt.
Mm-hmm.
That goddamn on stage interview, that's what blindsided me, and I didn't know. And I got some feedback, and the feedback came and said that I was quite aggressive. What little did they know is that I'm struggling, and it's coming off aggressive, because if I just try to talk like this back then, it would have been it would have just come all nowhere. So that's how it ended up being. So I do pay that part of me, that the woman you see sitting here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do I love entertainment? I know people recently have questioned if I am still entertaining. And
Are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
I'm always going to be an entertainer first and foremost. When you guys sit here and I see a couple of things that put activists first. No, you put entertainer first.
Beautiful, because that's
is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's my platform. That's who I am. That's in my blood. I've sat here and come from under the knife. The day I got my breast done, they said I was hungry. Ooh, play Janet, play Janet, play Janet. Oh, see, that lets you know that's in my bones, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to get as much dancing out as I can. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do it. And I always want to make sure that, even though I'm older and I know that this is a younger generation now, and I'm too old to be jumping off anything and sliding across nobody's floor. But I can't get upset because, or even feel jealous or envy, because for what? When I was in your shoes 20 years ago, well, 23 years ago, there were older girls who gave me the fever because of jealousy. Some gave me the fever just to see if I'm built for this.
Yeah.
And some just took me under their wing.
That's beautiful. The ones that
I
took you
don't
under
ever
their
want
wing.
to be that jealous girl.
Exactly.
There'll be a time, and even when it comes to the activist form of me, or that version of me is here because of that.
That's right.
My first show afterwards, it was a two potato in on Christopher and Greenwich Village. It's no longer there, but anybody who's older generation sure enough knows of it. My first show, it was like afterwards, it was a take a collection for God's Love We Deliver. So I keep performing with a bucket going around. So it automatically let me know. And I said, why do we do that? Well, you know, a lot of people are homebound with AIDS and they can't really be here. Sometimes they get out here with a nurser or a walker and enjoy the show. Some people are struggling and da 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 da. So it put me in the mindset of, well, damn.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that I have what I have and make sure I give back. So,
yes.
And that's what led me to here. It's a whole round circle. I was nervous coming into switching from being an overall performer to coming to pageants. I thought people will question my love and genuineness for it. Just like I questioned how do people feel with a showgirl coming into activism. And it's not when the time is there, you know it's there. I want to be paid properly and compensated properly for anything that I did.
That's right.
However, the base of it is all a passion. I love performing. It's what I do. I love making sure that my story is told and that I ask questions, and that when I had the opportunity to travel pre-COVID, that I got to sit here and meet other women in my shoes and guys, and we get to have a meeting of the minds to sit here and get some work done to make some progress, to prevent the harm and trauma of other LGBTQ people, especially my trans sisters and brothers, mainly my trans women. But at the same time, I love when I'm able to travel and have a meeting of the minds and sit here and put on a fabulous show and entertain some people too.
Well, let me read you a comment.
One more than the other. Both define me at this point. At 44, I feel more complete now. I have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Not just on myself, but for my community.
Exactly. That's beautiful. Well, let me read you a comment because I think people agree with you. This comment is from Nikki Love. Nikki Love, I miss you, girl. Hey, he says, now things are so different. There are a lot of youngsters that need people like Jennifer. You know, so you're an example. And just like somebody paved the way for you and took you under their wing, it's about paying it forward. That jealousy and that nonsense of pushing other people down, that's a hot mess. When you lift people up, especially people that look like you, are from your community, you will be blessed. So
if I come to a show and you, first of all, as long as you know your words, that's now I'll complain about that. I wouldn't care if you sliding across the floor, if you're standing here with both boobs out, if you're sitting here with taped on boobs and it's very well contoured, or if you're sitting here jumping off the floor, swinging from the windowsill. If you entertain me, God damn it, here's a tip, bitch. Yes, I'm here for it. I'm here to be entertained. Exactly. And that's all I really want to see. I don't ever want to sit here and feel like I'm in competition with someone older than me, someone my generation, I think it would still be called generation, or someone younger. I just want to be entertained. I want to be sociable, and I just want to be in a loving, comfortable place.
Yes, yes. Oh, and I see someone else here. I think it's Bianca Ray Love Storm. Is that your daughter?
Yes.
Yes. She says, hi, hey moms, proud of you. You see, so this is the essence, and this is what I love. I love that you're sharing all these different aspects of yourself, because that's what human beings are, right? We're not just one thing, and sometimes people know it's for one thing or the other. And I love how you said that you know, you identified that your passion is entertainment, but people may have so many different platforms, and all those different platforms work together. So your entertainment can work with the advocacy, can work with the community person, can work with the daughter, the sister, you know what I mean? And that's all of it has to work together, because sometimes, like, you know what I mean? That's how we become relatable, honestly. You know, there's something that people are going to attach to. And so I'm happy that you've shared all those different aspects of yourself.
I want to say this, that one of my biggest hurdles.
I was going to ask you, actually, one of your biggest life lessons. So what's one of your biggest hurdles?
All dick ain't good dick. I'm
just playing. That's what she said.
One of my biggest hurdles, one of my biggest lessons is self-love is the best love.
Let me tell you, I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. You gotta get that in your head. Yes.
When I say that, is because I don't think I've ever loved myself until recent years. I thought my validation came from family, and then when love came into play, like romantical love, I thought my validation comes from him, and then him.
Hey,
and then him.
You are speaking truth. What is it? Isn't it crazy how, like, sometimes we try to get so much validation from the other, from that man, that relationship, when in reality we have to get it from ourselves first. If not, you're gonna keep on searching and searching and searching and searching. So true.
I don't think that I've been asked that before in younger times, but I don't think I fully got it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it until, I'll be honest, September 2018. That was the last time I tried to commit suicide over men and embarrassment. And I want to say a word. It's just the natural word that I would say at this moment in time, but I don't want to offend the public.
I think we're all adults. Go ahead.
It was over a man, embarrassment, and faggotry, betrayal, jealousy. I never saw none of this coming from any of the parties that played in breaking me. And social media was new for me. I just started doing social media. Like, I had Black Planet and MySpace before I left on a physical computer, but nobody was on it 24/7, acting like they can't live without it. It wasn't mobile. So I'm coming home and people are losing their jobs, losing their marriages, losing their relationships over these damn phones, because you over here doing the oohs and the ahs and the ohs over here. So for all these things to go up on social media, you know how it feels to have the elders in your family reach out to you to question you. What do you got yourself into up there? What are you doing up here? What the hell is this talking about? And I'm like, oh my God.
Yep, I know, because everybody's watching at this point, and it's like everything's out there, and people judge, and it's like, look, it's just social media.
And it just destroyed me. And I don't know how to face nobody. I don't want nobody asking me questions and assuming that I'm the freak of the week and I'm just the cum bucket and I'm doing this with this one. Sex parties, drugs, and rock and roll. What happened to you and them? I thought you were friends, and it's just too much. So the best way to cope with it is not be here. And that was like my 4th attempt at suicide. And I think some family some family who can sense wrongness in me,
they put you aside
in a downward spiral. And a couple of people were lifesavers, but the thing that saved me the most was my little cousin. Her name was Deshauna, and the baby's name was Deshauna. It's the baby you always see me with.
Okay.
She put her in my lap.
And you saw life.
Reminded me of the promise that I made her. and I never seen a child come out of a woman before until
Mm-hmm.
her. So,
Wow. That's a blessing. Yes.
and I actually got to literally experience childbirth without literally having her. And looking at her, and she was just looking at me with the purest set of eyes, and I'm like, it snapped into my head that I have to do better. I promised her. I still have nieces and nephews, and what is my brother supposed to say to the kids? That I was too weak or I didn't talk to nobody?
Mm-hmm.
So I had started, they threatened to civically commit me and stuff like that. So let's clarify that.
And he was like,
That's how I already see the psychiatrist. That's how I started seeing the therapist.
Beautiful.
To
Well, I'm
prevent
happy that you're
from
talking about therapy, because I feel like it's so taboo, right? People, they always think, no, I can get through it. No, I don't need it. No, this, no, that. But it's
That's what I
helpful.
thought.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Yep.
seen the psychiatrist, and it was sort of helpful in being on meds and everything else. And then I started seeing a therapist for the first time after the rape and assault in prison. Because what they did was give me sleeping pills to make me sleep at night because I wouldn't sleep no longer. So that's what the hell I could do. And then they started making me see a therapist. And
But you made it through. You made
that's
it through.
what got me through the
You got it through.
incarceration.
Yes.
Coming home,
Yes.
I didn't think I needed that because I had my family and I thought I had my core and there's some other people. I wasn't expecting nobody to check for me while I was gone, but I'm home. Everybody breaking their damn necks to get to Jersey, and I was blinded, and everybody was making me feel guilty for my absence, and I can respect that and I can accept that. And I was stupid and I was blinded and I didn't know what the hell Tina was. And I'm thinking like, so, hey, well, wait a minute. Oh, everybody's just all over the place. And I didn't understand what a lot was going on. People keep talking to me, trying to explain stuff to me as if I've been here for the last 6-7 years. No, girl, I've been incarcerated. I don't know nothing what they're talking about. So
yeah,
I'm a
the
little
world
blindsided.
stopped.
So no, I didn't have knowledge and common sense to get away from X, Y, and Z. How would I? Why would I? I don't know what a Tina is and this and that. I have no clue of any of that. Even upon 2018, that's getting my ass whooped by a relationship that I should not have been in because I just broke off an engagement and then hopped right into another relationship. I was tired of you cheating to only sit here and let you whoop my ass. I should never have let no man put their hands on me when my father's in the ground.
Amen.
But that's that fake validation, and all the validation that I needed was inside of me.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Washing my face, taking my makeup off, putting my makeup on, in the shower, caressing my breasts, caressing my missing hips, and all this kind of stuff. I love me. I didn't like my complexion at one point in time. I love this melanin.
Yes.
Now.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we love that melanin. Hello. No, you're beautiful. You have a glow.
I love my nose.
Yes.
And I did some black market surgery back in the 90s to make these fabulous cheeks that I had to go to Philly and get.
Hey.
So much about me I just could not stand. But it's so much about me now that I love and appreciate. I love that my transition, when I look at some of my female cousins, paternal and maternal, and my aunts and stuff, but maternal and paternal, I look at them and I'm seeing, like, well, damn, let me stop, no work in the face, because everything is just settling in, and we looking just alike. So stuff like that. But I don't know, but I'm in the journey of self-love, and that is so important.
That's what's important. Exactly.
I want to preach.
Yeah,
to everybody.
I'm just happy that you're going there and that you're touching on so many different things that I think that, you know, think about everybody who's watching. Think about how many times we have not been happy with who we are. You know, we wanted to change. Everybody has like at least that one thing they want to change, and you know how people perceive you, and I'm not good enough, and all these things. But those are just the little voices in your head. That's not reality. You gotta really talk to yourself and train yourself. And I'm so happy that you are on that journey of training yourself to be like, I am beautiful, I'm powerful, and I am here, and I'm here to stay because I'm gonna show the people of the world who Jennifer Love is. Okay. So
That
Jennifer,
part.
before we like wrap up, I do want to ask you how do you see yourself using your life to inspire others? I mean, we talked about so much, but how do you see yourself inspiring others, or how do you use your life to inspire others?
I remind myself that no mistake was stupid. It's
Mm-hmm.
called life.
Yep.
And it's not worth me hiding it. I'm not saying I gotta throw it out there, but it's not worth me hiding it. Keep replaying your life, not to stay depressed. Replay your life so therefore you can see the things in the moments where you started spiraling out of control and you wish someone paid that much attention to you. So when you see it in the others, especially the younger ones, make sure you make yourself available to the younger men and women and people to be their voice and be vulnerable with them and let them know that what they're feeling, what they possibly may be feeling, is nothing wrong with them.
That's right. You don't have to go through it alone. And that's a true lesson that I think so many people need to hear. If you're depressed, if you're down, if you feel like you don't believe in yourself, if you feel like you don't want to go out, leave the house, you don't have to go through it alone. There's somebody out there, you just got to find that help. There's so many avenues. I'm happy you said that, because I think especially during the holidays, you heard that the holidays is like the one time of the year that so many people get depressed and so many people commit suicide.
They don't have the families,
They don't have
especially in the
family.
LGBT community. We don't have
Yep.
our families. A lot of us don't. Well, I have mine, but a lot of people do not.
Yep.
They don't have their blood families or their chosen families, or they could be in an awkward situation, period. And it sucks that people have to do that. And then with COVID being here right now, COVID is already a damn mental breakdown. And then
that
with COVID
accelerated everything. Yeah.
some people who had the family who normally would have been in a plane to Arkansas or on a plane to Atlanta, nobody can do that because everywhere's shutting down. You see, London just going on full lockdown if they already didn't. I don't know. Oh, before I forget, I meant to say in the first part of our interview, I left out, if you want to donate to the Gen Love Project.
Yes.
My webpage is genloveproject.org.
Genloveproject.org.
Yes, JENLOVPRO. Yes. If you log on, if you go to the page from a Chromebook, you know who that is right there in the middle?
Right here. Right here?
Look at it. You know what that is?
Right here?
The person in the khaki?
Yes. Who is it? In the khaki?
Yes.
I'm trying to zoom in, but it's a little bit blurry. I can't see.
You gotta put it in desktop form, or either go onto a Chromebook and look at it.
Okay, so if I were to open it on my computer, that's you?
That's me and my nephews and nieces and my mom and aunt on a visit.
That is beautiful. Oh
What
my
better
God.
way to show LGBTQ person incarcerated than to show yourself I have to be vulnerable in order for me to be here for others.
That's right. That's right. So everyone, you can go to the genloveproject.org. What are some other ways that people can follow you and just become involved in some of your causes?
You can reach out to me to Facebook, Jennifer Love Williams. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Jennifer Love 1976. That's JENNIFERLOVE 1976 on Instagram. On Twitter and Snapchat is Jenny Love 1976. JENNILOVE 1976.
That's
and
awesome.
TikTok as well, because I'm a big TikTok person these days. TikTok as well. It's Jennifer Love 1976. It's a JENNIFERLOVE 1976.
Amazing, 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 amazing. And I heard that you have been performing in the local community. You were recently at Headroom, right?
Yeah,
in Jersey City.
Trans Liberation Show, Trans Celebration Show. Yes, that was my first time ever in all trans cast outside of the month of November.
That is beautiful. I saw that and I was like, yes, I was living for it. Oh my gosh. So if y'all are trying to, follow the cause, donate to the cause, definitely. Jennifer, when we finish, actually, if you can drop all those connections in the comments so that people can follow, people can comment. If people loved this today, definitely share it, definitely like it, definitely love it. You know, tell more people about the Gen Love Project.org. Super important. And Jennifer, I just want to say that it is my pleasure to know you. It is my pleasure to have gotten to know you. I know I got to meet you at Headroom, and you know, this is only the beginning. I'm sure I'll see you more often. I'm actually going to be at Headroom on Sunday if you're in the neighborhood. It's my friend's birthday.
I'll be there. I'm about to make my reservations right now.
Okay.
What time?
2:30 brunch.
All right.
All right. So yes. So everyone, you got a real community advocate. You got a real community entertainer. You got the real deal here. Thank you all for joining. This is what the Community Spotlight is about. It's about sharing those stories that mean so much and that everyone can relate to, because I know that there are so many people that watched today that probably were like, wow, that hit home for me. You know what I mean? So without any further ado, Jennifer, thank you. Happy holidays to everyone.
Happy
to
holidays.
You, Jennifer. Much love, peace and love. Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.